So I basically told him, look, I had to stop myself from going on an anti-Semitic rant because so many people treat me so horribly that, if they don't directly say they want me dead, then I feel like it's implied, And so I just lash out, and I'm trying to work on myself and not do that. God bless you, Maddie. And I know there's a lot of people who go to college who don't think they're better than other people. And that's why it's wrong of me to ever say that. It's wrong of me to be prejudiced against college-educated people or women. But I have been, and that's something I'm still working on. And it's hard for me to own up and say that, that I'm still working on getting past my prejudices against women. Actually, I'm still working on getting past my prejudices against women and college-educated people. Okay. So, I'm very apologetic about that. I'm trying to be a better person. And I think it definitely has cost me a lot of friends and people who would otherwise care about me. You know what I'm saying? Like other communists or Marxists or people on the internet, But, I realize it's wrong, and I'm going to continue to work on being a better person. And I'm glad I stopped myself from being anti-Semitic, just because a Jewish person happened to be offended by my post and blocked me momentarily, I didn't know it was momentarily at the time, but, that's why I said shout out to him, because he unblocked me and apologized and said it was his fault, and he felt bad about it. And so we had a heart to heart. I said, it's not all your fault. It's my fault too, and I appreciate you, So, hello, GOLX, how you doing? Thank you, Maddie. So, a lot of people understand that their actions have a ripple effect. They understand they bully a homeless person, tell them they a lot of people understand there's a ripple effect in how they treat people, They understand that they come into a homeless person's live stream and bully them and tell them they wish they were dead or they deserve to die, or even that they're going to find them and kill them, which a lot of people have said to me. And I think it's crazy. Even saying this, I'm amazed that this is real, They understand that their actions affect, and they understand that, them treating me like that makes it easier for me to be bitter and hateful to other people, to pass that on. And so it almost makes me have a doomer attitude, like, how can they treat me this way when they know this is just bad for everyone involved? How can you actually change anyone? Is there any hope for these people? Will they ever stop being evil? And making other people feel bad and, make society worse off as a whole. I don't know.
Tell us when you see yourself.
You're right. Leave judgment to God. All I know is that I believe God does judge us. And he judges us based on our honest attempt to be good people, I truly believe that even though I'm not perfect, I'm a lazy fucking bum. I've been prejudiced against women and college educated people, and I've been emotionally reactive. That me realizing that and continuing to recognize that and try to shift my behavior. That's what makes me a good person. And so anyone that comes on here to bully me, I just, in the spirit of God and compassion, I want you to understand that I think you deserve compassion too. And I believe that you can recognize what you're doing is wrong.
Okay, how about what Mama died for?
Strive every day to be a better person and change, just like I'm trying to do.
And yelling is a misdemeanor assault. And you yelled anyway.
Now, I want to get off here because, I've given you guys a lot of myself tonight. And I'm socially drained.
Needs another drink.
But the most important thing, what I wanted to say in the short video or the beginning of the live stream, was I'm so fucking pissed off. The last live stream I did, I was talking about how Lenin and Stalin were thorns for Putin. And, in the beginning of the live stream, it kept on, the connection kept going out. And I realized when the connection goes out, it just immediately skips the part that I was talking about.
And you called YouTube a bitch.
So towards the beginning, I was re-listening to it, and it just pisses me off, because it ruins everything else I have to say, I think, When I was talking in the beginning of the video, where I say Lenin and Stalin are thorns for Putin, the war in Ukraine explained. In that video, and towards the beginning of it, I make the analogy of the formation of the United States, all these different states, and how the United States wouldn't have been created if not for the cooperation of all these different separate states. And I use it to compare it to the Soviet Union. But I explicitly stated when I was live streaming that it's totally different, that this socialist organization and collaboration and right to self-determination and coming together on their own free will, understanding that you have to work together to survive. That was the point I was trying to make. And I explained that I'm only making this point because a lot of my viewers are American and are educated in American history. So it can be something easy that I can point to.
Accent go?
But I also explained that this is completely different than the USSR. These states wanted to have their independence so they could continue expanding westward and keep on taking over, keep on colonizing and settling further west. That was one of their main things, and it was a state set up not for the working class, but for rich white male landowners. Not even women could vote. I'm sorry to tell you, until the early 1900s, only until 100 years old, women were allowed to vote here. And my family came here 100 years ago we were not settlers.
There we go.
So the point, and so whenever in that video it just skips, that short 20 to 30 seconds where I explain like this is entirely different. I'm only making this reference, to help people understand this thing in a certain way. When that gets taken out, it really, to me, if I were to watch it, like I'm just lit. After that point, I just can't agree with anything else. I'm mad at myself. Like, if I was watching another YouTuber talk about this, and he compares the states, the 13 original colonies coming together as a United States with, the different countries of the USSR coming together, and doesn't, explain how they're different, then I just think this person's, I'm saying, a supporter of America and all this bullshit. So it really pissed me off that it, and it's happened a few times. It's a critical piece of the information in what I'm trying to say that gets cut out because of my fucking connection. He said, with a positive mindset, one can do anything. I'm not too sure about that. I'm not too sure about that. So, yeah, so then on the 21st, when I got paid from YouTube, I go to the Steam store, and the fucking RPG Maker, the latest edition, is now $80 again. And the second to latest edition, the edition before the latest edition, is $70. So it's not like if the edition from a few years before was like $40, maybe it would be worth it. But it's only $10 less. You might as well get the latest version. That's $80, or it's $10 for the second to latest version of RPG Maker, and then $20 for the latest version when you're what the fuck? I'm sorry, Maddie. I was jumping between points in my conversation. I was talking about, if you remember earlier in this, I was speaking on the RPG Maker, this program that you can download to make your own video game. So right now I'm trying to connect to the internet. It's being an asshole and not connecting. Oh, now it's barely connecting now. So you said, what's the Steam store? Well, I'll gladly show you. Basically, it's all video games, right? So this is the Steam Deck. So basically, the people who made this piece of hardware, the company that made this hardware, first they made video games, okay, about 15, 20 years ago, I think. Something like that, 20, 25 years ago. The people who made this just made video games. But then they made an online store for video games. Okay. Hold on. I think I might have to use my hotspot. Okay. And I'm gonna show you the store now.